not the bullshit that she and the other city council members have been trying to bring forward. As Sam talked about, and as Toussaint talked about, they're essentially trying to hoodwink and bamboozle the people when they really have no interest in bringing about justice.
That's right.
If they had, they would have fired Bob Crow's raggedy ass by now. Why is he still on the force if they care about justice? One of the most violent police officers in the history of the city of Minneapolis, with 50 complaints, over a dozen substantiated lawsuits. How is he possibly still on the force and speaking for the rank and file of the city of Minneapolis? But do you think that Lisa Bender has tried to work to get him fired? Hell no. Somebody say hell no.
Hell no.
And if Lisa Bender actually cared about justice, do you think that it would have taken seeing the life of George Floyd snuffed out of him for minutes at a time by the Minneapolis police? Or do you think that when she learned about Terrence Franklin being executed in the basement of a home not too far from where we were, that she would have stood up then? And if that's not enough in 2013, let's fast forward to 2015. November of 2015, when Jamar Clark, a 24-year-old young African-American man, unarmed, shot in the head at point-blank range by 2 Minneapolis police officers. Dozens of black witnesses who were treated like criminals. As a community, we were so outraged, we stood out in the freezing cold for 18 days. And you know what Lisa Bender did? She came and made an appearance so she could go on Twitter and talk about the police. But do you think that she did a damn thing to follow up after that? Hell no. She didn't do anything. And if that wasn't enough, in 2015, we know that Justine Damon was killed. Justine Damon thus far is the only one who has gotten some semblance of justice. Why? Because she was a white affluent woman, and the man who killed her was a black Muslim Somali man. And in all honesty, I believe that that was the only accidental shooting by Minneapolis police out of all the killings that we have seen. Because most of the time, they have shot people at point blank range, blown their damn heads off. Or like we saw in the case of George Floyd, choked the life out of that man. Those were not accidents. So regardless of whether you believe that what happened with Muhammad Nur was an accident, the point is, Lisa Bender had the opportunity to help demand justice for stolen lives. And if that wasn't enough with Justine, let's fast forward to Thurman Blevins. African-American man sitting outside his home, probably intoxicated, but what difference does that make? Police officers jumped out of the car, treated that man like a criminal, treated him like an animal, hunted him down, and blew him away. And the man begged them not to kill him. Did we see Lisa Bender stand up and demand justice? No. Hell no, she went back to business as usual, worried about bike lanes and fake-ass affordable housing.
Come on now.
If that's not enough, we have Mario Benjamin. We also have a Hmong man who was killed. We have Travis Jordan, a Hawaiian Pacific Islander who was killed. Lisa Bender did not do a damn thing about any of those people being killed at the hands of the Minneapolis police. But fast forward, May 25th, when George Floyd was killed. What do we see? Lisa Bender and the rest of City Council, but primarily Lisa Bender, going on CNN and other news networks, knowing damn well she don't know nothing about police reform, has not worked on the issue at all throughout her time in City Council, but yet she's on CNN doing all these interviews, trying to grab headlines, pretending that she cares about justice. And anybody with an ounce of common sense could look at that and see that we're being hoodwinked and bamboozled.
Yep, that's right.
What Lisa and many other members of City Council care about is grabbing the spotlight of the world and looking like they're doing something, when in reality they could care less about the residents of the city of Minneapolis, and they damn sure don't care about black lives.
That's right.
How do I know? Because I was with activists time and time again and community members showing up at City Hall and demanding justice, shutting down meetings, testifying, meeting one-on-one with City Council members, begging them to do something. And instead, what did they do? Ask for more power. Saying that, you know what, the mayor is responsible, but if you divide all this power amongst the 13 of us, then we'll seek justice. And I'm thinking, you haven't done a goddamn thing with the power you have right now. So why would we think divvying up power amongst a bunch of lame politicians will produce justice? It's not going to. That's just more people to pass the buck to and to kick the can down the road to.
That's that bullshit.
That is that bullshit. So we need to pay attention to what is going on. And like Toussaint said, this woman does not need to keep a six-figure job doing absolutely nothing for the residents of the city of Minneapolis. Somebody needs to rise up and challenge Lisa Bender. And if you don't believe me about these injustices, all you need to do is look at the most recent police settlement cases. I talked earlier about Justine Damon and how she was killed in 2017. As a result of her case and the fact that she was an affluent white woman, Justine's family received an unprecedented $20 million, the largest ever award in the history of the state of Minnesota for a police killing victim. Now think about this. The overwhelming majority of people who are killed are black and brown. So why did it take a white woman to get that large of a settlement? Lisa Bender was the president of the council when that happened. And if that's not enough, think about Jamar Clark, who again I mentioned was killed in November of 2015, over a year and a half after Justine Damon. Over a year and a half before Justine Damon. So why did it take after Justine Damon's settlement for his family to get a measly $200,000?
That's bullshit.
For the life of a black man. Lisa Bender oversaw that. She dragged that family through negotiations instead of doing right by them, and sat there smiling like it was okay. You told us, Lisa Bender, that you didn't value black lives. You put pennies on the dollar on the name of Jamar Clark and his family. Again, with dozens of witnesses in the community. There were no witnesses other than the police in the Justine Damon killing, and there was no video in either killing. And then if we look at Terrence Franklin, again killed in 2013, Terrence Franklin's family got just over $700,000 under Lisa Bender's leadership, many years after he was actually killed. So again, she had the opportunity to show that she cares about equity, to show that she cares about justice, to show that she cares about black lives, and instead, what did she do? Amplify the life of a white woman. All of their lives mattered. And I'm not saying in the sense of these all lives matter people, because we know that all lives can't matter until black lives matter.
That's right.
Period.
Say it again.
All lives can't matter until black lives matter.
That's right.
So again, we need to send Lisa Bender a message and the rest of her minions on city council, because she has a little crew that she runs with who cannot think for themselves, who are putting forward things at a rapid pace, hoping we're not smart enough to pay attention. But I don't know if y'all know about my background. I was a law professor for 14 years. It's a little hard to hoodwink and bamboozle somebody with that background compared to somebody who only cared about bike lanes before. So we are asking you guys to step up to the plate and hold them accountable and ask the hard questions and get her ass out of office. Black Lives Matter.